everyone, Alexman here, and welcome to another Let's Play. And today, I'm going to be playing one of my most favorite games of all time. Back then, when Nintendo was on top of the world after GoldenEye made the worldwide debut of one of the better FPSs on console, and Rare came back with a banger of a game. This is Perfect Dark, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Perfect Dark is essentially a GoldenEye sequel in theme only. Is that initially Rare wanted to make a sequel to GoldenEye, but was not able to get the rights to it. But since they had a really good FPS engine on their hands, they decided to basically go into a kind of a sci-fi, cyberpunk direction with this game. Now, for our playthrough today, we're going to be doing the agent mode. And so, because in all fairness, doesn't matter which sort of like difficulty that you do on for the story mode here at Perfect Dark. The only thing that's different is that there's more objectives to do with more difficult enemies to face. Otherwise, the story is basically untouched. So, with that said, let's see how perfect Agent Dark is going to be. And first of finding out what's going on into the defection into Datadyne. Now, folks, this game was all over the place for me. The fact that it was just is that I liked GoldenEye for what it is, but it was severely limited on the fact is in Perfect Dark I fell in love with Perfect Dark in terms of its gameplay, story, and overall just its multiplayer. And by golly, I think this game is better for its multiplayer than any other FPS on the console. Now, I am playing this on NSO as you saw, but I say right now, NSO is probably the most stable version this game has. And I know a lot of people kind of bash emulation that is not as good as other emulators, but I'll say right now, this scene right here barely ran about 15 to 20 FPS on original hardware. So this is almost about as smooth as the Xbox 360's version that it came out later on when Microsoft bought Rare. Rare basically upgraded this game to Xbox graphics, and it looks stunning then, to a certain degree. Okay. And also, the first thing about this game is that there is voice acting galore. And also the fact the setting is so great. Like, look how the lighting and everything. Now this game is not perfect to a certain degree, as you might want to think. There's still some chaotic measures about certain controls and everything. Now, I'm using a Brawler 64 controller like I did in my Ocarina of Time playthrough, and sometimes that could really do me in at times. To a certain degree, of course. But overall, I think this is about the smoothest it can possibly be for a particularly an N64 game. And I'll tell you right now, this game chugged. Well, because beforehand, it was all about the game was running. Like, first off, you had to get that expansion pack. You know, the 4 megabyte expansion, which will allow you to basically play more complex games and higher graphics. But if you didn't have it, you only played maybe about 26% of the game was available to you. Knock you out. There you go. No, you don't. I don't have a gun. It's a whip. Yeah, that's the one thing about this game, and is that there is just, like, every gun has a secondary function. Like, if you want to take out an enemy that's without harming them, you can switch any gun or any pistol to probably, for the most part, to a pistol whip and just knock out the enemy that way. Also, the fact is, there's animations reloading for all weapons in the game. That was something completely unheard of, because after coming off from GoldenEye, where the gun is just basically just reloaded off screen without any animation, having all the guns reload in the game with all unique animations, I might add, is just so awesome. Like, there was a lot of invasions with this game. It really was. The fact is that there's a swearing filter for a profanity filter on this game, so if you don't want this game to be like, you know, overly mature and everything, because a lot of the guards here do swear if they die, and a lot of cutscenes do basically swear on screen, for the most part. But the swearing filter goes a little over beyond too much than what it could do. That if you basically, it would block out the swearing, yes, but it would block out the entire audio track of that character. So you would most likely have a character that basically will have all these animations and emotes, but it will not talk at all because the code is tied to that in some fashion. There you go. Yeah. And I mean, I have so much memories of this game. It's just like, I remember my greatest memory was that I had me and my friends come over to my house while I was young, and we played this game 24 hours. Like, we had an overnighter this thing. And man, I tell you, we played this game all night. Much to the dismay of my parents, because they probably wanted to sleep overnight, but we kept playing. And basically, I played until about 7 o'clock next morning, where I just basically just conked out on the chair, and everybody else went home because they realized they were tired too. But like, this is like such a good game. I know I played GoldenEye 2 as well, but it was just later on that I kind of realized that whatever GoldenEye did, Perfect Dark perfected it. You know, bad the term. I know that's kind of a bad pun on this regard, but still, it's like, that was the thing about Perfect Dark, is that it basically almost improved everything. And it's just awesome. In fact, also, this game was also had to fix a lot of bugs GoldenEye had. What was it? In GoldenEye, you could cheat without letting the game knowing you were cheating. In Perfect Dark, you can't do that. No. So any cheats, there are tons of cheats in this game. Yes, there are basically probably double the amount of cheats in GoldenEye. I'm gonna say that perfectly here. There's more cheats in this game than was GoldenEye combined. Like, there's, you know, counter-operative mode, where you can unlock new characters to play as cooperatively. Yeah, this entire campaign, the single player, can be played multiplayer with co-op and counter-op. Means, you know, one person will always be an enemy type, and basically will go after the player and try to kill him off. So, like, you have to watch it. Like, one person was actively trying to stop you from playing the game. I mean, that's kind of cool. Co-op was awesome. It was also ranked differently, too, alongside it, so it had its own difficulty counter alongside it. It's just like, this game is just so good. I mean, I can only, and also the fact, if you want to make this really more hilarious, is that you can turn on paintball mode so that everybody is just basically filled with paint instead of blood. There we go, level done. Granted, I'm only playing on Agent because I'm playing this for the story instead of the objectives. So basically your preference will basically differ depending on what happens. So that's our first level done. And we go on to our second mission with no low times at all. So after that, we have to go find Dr. Carroll, but also holographic radioactive isotope as well. If you are basically playing this mission and you want to have a sort of an idea, every level will basically have this so-called briefing screen. So you can tell maybe kind of an objective of what you want, what you have to do, and basically learn how to do it. And that's all it is to it. Oh man, like, trying to pull an all-nighter though nowadays is kind of like really tiring for me, especially for me in my mid-30s. It's like, I just can't do it. I know how you feel, QGH of Twitch chat. I know how you feel.
What?
Bam! Now, it's kind of weird, and all in this entry, is this like the tutorial area of the game, where basically almost everything is told to you in forward sight, basically learning how to use different guns and everything. Like, for some reason, Joanna Dark is, basically, her background is, more often than not, that she's an agent of the Carrington Institute. Sort of like this, equivalent to MI6. And basically, Carrington Institute is just MI6, but for the cyberpunk world, let's be frank here. And basically, they just have different agents, different guns, weapons, technologies, and everything. And this was all set in the cyberpunk future. I think I want to say that I want to say there was like 2020, 2023 is where this game is technically set it in. So look at, we're actually kind of older than what this game is supposed to be in the future. But let's look at a little back. Now it's kind of funny. There is background lore you can learn about this game, but it only unlocks after you've beaten the game. Like, you cannot see the history inside the game's codex until you've basically beaten at least like special or agent or special agent. And you'll basically learn all the things you need to learn about this game. In terms of the story, and I'll tell you right now, there is a huge backstory that this game does not go into, and you have to, if you want more about this game, you had to read an article. Reading in an N64 game? Heaven forbid. Alright, so now we can't walk in here. If we walk in here, we're going to get radioactive isotopes. That's why we have to hold down the A button here and open up our cam spy. Just like so. And this was something cool. Like, look at this. You can see, like, look at this. This was a free roaming camera in an N64 game. Like, this is something that was completely absurd. There's our isotope we have to track. Later difficulties of this game would most likely tell you have to pick up, items and other technologies and everything. You need some, and also the fact that they're very difficult because they usually spawn more enemies, or infected enemies just do a lot more damage overall. There you go. Hey, why'd you come down here and hit me? Now, there is auto aim on here, and I would recommend playing with auto aim on, because just like it was in original N64, is that the control is not very perfect. It's using the same control schemes from GoldenEye directly, and there is also, in fact, there is also a game mode you can play, or a game style you can play, that basically tells you have to play with two N64 controllers. I was like, when I saw that in GoldenEye and saw it here, it's like, how did we... I'd never heard anybody, or even seen anybody play... I've never heard anyone actually ever play GoldenEye or Perfect Dark with two controllers in hand. I mean, granted, that's what we do now with Splatoon and everything, mind you, true, but with motion controls. But like, this was a time where motion controls weren't a thing. I mean, if this game was made today, what it technically will be with the upcoming remake, which, I want to say, if it wasn't for the Microsoft buyout of Rare, I'm pretty sure Perfect Dark Zero would have came out in a lot better spirits, And I never played Perfect Dark Zero, but from what I can tell from a lot of people, Perfect Dark Zero failed on what made the original game so great. And it was just sad to see a lot of like this entire game just go from what was initially a perfect sequel to GoldenEye, and now it's just a generic first-person shooter with some third-person perspective elements that kind of make everything clunky. Also, I keep hearing the story was absolute crap in Perfect Dark Zero, and it's like this game's story is kind of still convoluted in many ways, but still, this is a. Also, again, this game running on NSO has the widescreen support, so you don't get that weird border on most NSO games. It's like GoldenEye. So yeah, Perfect Dark got the GoldenEye treatment on the NSO, which means that you get widescreen support, which again, for a time in the original N64 version, there was widescreen. And it was just, that was such a cool thing, and also high resolution graphics and everything. But it's like, man, did it really chug the frame rate back then, man. It chugged like horrible. Now, where's that thing? Oh, there's a thing. It's coming back around again, yeah. On later difficulties, you have to activate this thing manually yourself. Oh yeah, be careful with these lasers, by the way. Now, there are people who basically have speedrun this game, and I'll tell you, speedruns of this game, like on Games Done Quick, is outstandingly scary to watch. I mean, outright scary to watch. I mean, we're kind of stuck here until the robot comes back and do a cycle again. But I was like, there are people that basically have glitched out of bounds, and I'll tell you, there are some ridiculous. I'll tell you, there's one cheat I got, and it was on one level later on. We'll see that basically requires you to beat the level in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I want to say, and it basically allows you to get the invincibility cheat. Now, for the life of me, I never know how to unlock that cheat. It just felt like there was just so much complications how to do it. And unfortunately, I had to learn a kind of like a trick or a cheat of my own, where basically you had to trick the programming to think that you were still at the exit while at the same time attempting the secondary objective that would technically leave you behind, and you had to find out exit another way. And it's like, oh, after I found out about that trick, I was like, heck yeah, that's what we want to see. Oh, come on, you. And now I got myself a dragon. This dragon is one of my favorite weapons in the game. Just because you can just go right here and just go, you know what? I'm gonna set a proxy mine right here. Whew. Now I got a mobile proximity mine for me to enjoy. And for someone else to pick up, and people might not see what it is. We'll get our data link up here. Gotta search for a password. There we go. Okay, cool. In later difficulties, when you're doing hacking, there's enemies that would spawn right there. And so having something that's in this place when it spawns, like a proxy mine, would basically be a awesome way to basically take out enemies. And while the dragon is kind of one of my favorite weapons, it's not my most liked weapon, though. Because the dragons are kind of like the generic, you know, assault rifle. Like the K7, like the K740, the 47. In GoldenEye. This is kind of like the same gun. Where basically, you know, it has 30 ammo clips and everything, and that's all it does. Oh, you want to shoot me, huh? I'll just take you out like that. There you go. But there's a weapon we'll see later on that literally has like one of the best abilities in the game. And it's basically kind of like an answer to like, what if you had the power of the AI at your disposal? And use it as your own, and it's so awesome. I'm hoping after this playthrough is done, that we'll see exactly what multiplayer will be like. And I'll tell you, multiplayer is just one of the best things about this game. Oh, just gotta make a run for it. And you can tell it was kind of early on they didn't know about the solid guns, because those guns are basically the basic gun from GoldenEye. I tell you, the cinematography is stunning.
Dr. Carroll, are you here?
Well, is it ready to come out?
Yes, all clear.
Oh boy. Also, there's a lot of glare. Yeah, you can tell there's Rare loved the new glare they got with the extended memory, and they use it everywhere.
You must leave immediately. Come on. I have vital information. You must protect me.
I have to protect an AI? Good grief. Well, that completes the next mission out. And let's start with the next mission on the way. So let's start here, and we'll start our next mission here at Datadyne Extraction. Let's go and see if we can get ourselves Dr. Carroll out of here as fast as we can before basically being killed or basically defeated by Datadyne's executives. Let's go. Alright. Let's get out of here. And now she's got a scope on it. Like, this entire first sector of the game is like, she has a silencer, then she has a normal gun, and then she has her Falcon scope weapon. But they're all different. Oh boy, it's dark outside. And I'll tell you, now we gotta put on night vision. And now we gotta basically learn how to use night vision. Now, these guards can't actually see me. You know, because they can't see me. And also, that auto-aim doesn't technically fully work in night vision mode. Because you're obviously, in fact, you can't see very well, so the game's like, you know what? We're gonna have to make you harder to aim on enemies. There we go. Oh boy. Also, Dr. Carroll can be harmed. Bear that in mind. So, if Dr. Carroll is defeated or destroyed, you failed the mission. Not only the fact that the game doesn't outright just take you out of the game's the mission. No, the game will outright tell you, you failed. You better basically just either learn the level for the time being and then quit. And again, I don't know what happened with Joanna and her guns from the previous level because we don't have any of the, we don't have a drag anymore. Apparently when we just walked out, we just dropped all of our guns. And that's kind of like the problem with Perfect Dark a little bit is that, yeah, well, the levels do basically, basically all connect everywhere. Is that, oh, look at that, I just disarmed that guy. Yeah, you can do that in this game. If you're good enough and actually hit the, if you hit a guard, if you attack a guard and basically get it, knock his gun out, he'll be like, oh, my gun! And you'll have to go out and get it. Again, the AI that's in this game for basically for enemy AI is outright stunning. It is such a good game. It's just, it destroys whatever. No, Dr. Carroll, no, Dr. Carroll, you stay down there. Let me clear out the mission field, and then you can come on up. Although Dr. Carroll will most likely follow you and basically activate doors to get right behind you at all times. As long as Dr. Carroll is not defeated, you are basically okay in the clear. Nothing in here. Oh, that! No! Take a bullet to the shoulder, please. There we go. I picked up Cassandra's card. Ooh, I picked up her. Surprisingly, I lost it. Somehow I lost it. This stage I hate in special and perfect agent mode. I hate this stage because there's this this gunship out here that will start to attack you. And the only way to kill it is to get a rocket launcher at the very top of the building. So you have to get around here while also trying to defend Dr. Carroll, while also not getting shot down because the gunship will most likely go after you or Dr. Carroll. And since Dr. Carroll is a flimsy electrical component, Dr. Carroll will most likely die. See, Dr. Carroll's right there. See, he's coming up just fine. He's just fine. Oh, that door's locked. You have to go up the other elevator here. There we go. And the fact that this game kind of reuses a lot of like level wrapping and level sharing is that sometimes you'll most likely be able to get around the like this level in particular is because infiltration was supposed to tell you how to explore the level yourself, so you know exactly how to get around. And now you're basically trying to panic, trying to get out of the stage as fast as you can before Datadyne basically takes you out. And now you know the layout of the building, you have to go up and you have to basically take out guards. Now the thing I'm doing right now is taking out Cassandra's bodyguards. You have to take out every one of these. So that means that it forces you to explore the stage in order to actually get to find all the guards in place. Oh, I shot the guy. Technically I shouldn't have shot the guy, but yeah, this is your rocket launcher for you. You don't really use it in this stage. Yeah, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna leave you there. Alright. Oh, we have a cool trick for me right here. Yeah, we have the shotgun here. I should see the models for, I'll talk about that in a moment here. When you open this door, you get automatically put into a cutscene here.
We meet again, girl.
Now, all of Cassandra's guards here are wearing night vision goggles. They go like this. So turn out the lights. Turn the great lights back on. Now all the guards are blinded for a little bit because the night vision is blinding them. I love that detail! Booyah!
Don't keep the jump ship waiting. Get back to the landing.
Oh, you know it. I'm getting up there as soon as I can. Don't worry, Daniel Carrington. We're there. We're there.
Going somewhere?
Ooh, I'm not going anywhere.
Something I can do for you, old woman.
Return our sapient immediately. You don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
I do.
I'm getting a paycheck. Now, goodbye.
One more chance. Give it back. And you could come and work for me.
Now, that is Cassandra D. Fortes. Basically, the CEO of Datadyne Corporation. And, she's kind of like their antagonist of the game to a certain
We
degree.
must get the sapient back. We cannot proceed without it.
And who are you, Mr. Blonde?
I also know who to
You came out of nowhere really fast.
Carrington.
And there's our first level of the game done. Nicely done, right? Now we're on to our next level, which is Carrington Villa, which honestly has basically one of the best songs in the game. It's not, well, no, there's tons of good songs in this game, but this one here, this track is my favorite one. So, Carrington Villa. Dental Carrington is not available because he's actually being held hostage by Datadyne. So we have to basically save our negotiator that doesn't really do much to negotiate. We have to activate the wind generators to get down underneath, and then rescue Daniel Carrington before basically Datadyne can take Dr. Carroll away. So let's see if we can get him in time.